welcome back to Soul Shine Designs. I'm Tiffany, and today we are going to do an open cup pour painting. Actually, we're going to do two open cups, and today I'm just going to keep you focused right in on the canvas and the painting. And I'm not going to make an appearance in today's video, you know, bad hair day and all. So let me just run through with you real quick the supplies I'm using. And I'm just going to do one video today. I've had some feedback on my previous videos, and some of the feedback that I got is my videos are too long, and I totally get that. So instead of doing one painting and then following up with a second painting with the leftover paint, we're just going to do this one painting today. So I have my work surface, I have some plastic laid out, I have an 18 by 24 stretched canvas. I already have it nice and tightened up. If you want to see how I do that, it's in video number 2 on my channel. And today, so I'm going to do a black base, and then we're going to use colors on top of that. So the black base that I'm using, I used Artist Loft Acrylic Flow paint, and I mixed that with Meeden gloss medium, and then just some purified water to thin it a little. The consistency of paint we're working with today is not as thin as the Dutch pours and swipes that I've done in previous videos. The consistency is more of a medium honey, I guess. That's something people compare the consistency to. So, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of white in part of the painting. In the white, I actually mixed some, I've had this mixed previously, some Artist Loft Flow acrylic white, and then I mix it with this Folk Art Hologram, which just has a really beautiful, soft, kind of subtle, glittery look to it. All of the colors except for the base I mixed with the Meeden medium, but everything else that I'm using today I mixed with Floetrol by Flood, often referred to as US Floetrol. And then I had previously in these little bottles, I already have mixed up some metallic purple and light violet by Artist Loft, and I'm just going to use very little of that. And then I have some Thalio blue. I don't have the bottle out here to show you. I'll put it in the description. And then some of the metallic ruby extreme sheen by DecoArt. These are some of the colors. I'm just going to be using a small amount of those, and you'll see when we get to pouring. Now the main colors I'm going to be using are all by Folk Art, and they're color shift metallic paints. So these paints are thinner than some of the other brands that I used. So I mixed these 1 part paint to 1.5 parts Floetrol, and then I added water to thin it out. And today we've got Green Flash by Folk Art, Aqua Flash, Blue Flash, Purple Flash, and then I'm going to use some of their metallic sequin black. You'll notice these small 2-ounce bottles all have the tops cut off of them. So when I use these bottles, what I like to do is I get as much of the paint out as I can, and then very carefully using a utility knife, I cut the tops off. That way I can scrape and get all the last little bits of paint out of it that I possibly can. And then I put some purified water in these. I put about a teaspoon each, and then I just mix it up and clean all that leftover paint out of the bottles. And then when I'm mixing water into my paint to thin it, I use the water that I put in these bottles. That way I'm getting as much out of these little bottles of paint as I can. So I'm done with these. Okay, so that covers all of the paints that we're using today. And like I said, we're gonna do an open cup. So what I did is I took 2 just common red solo cups and I cut them. And not to worry, the portions that I cut off, I'm not using today, but these make nice little cups that I will use to mix paint in for a pouring later on. So those will get used also. And also these plastic cups can be washed and used multiple times before they're not working anymore. So I'm going to use the base paint that I mixed up, which is the Artist Loft with the Meeden. I'm just going to put a little petal, and this is actually a tad thicker than the other paints I have mixed up. I'm going to put 2 circles here. And I'm just going to place my cups right on top of these. I'm going to go ahead and pour some more black around the canvas and spread it out. What I'm going for with this technique is kind of a galaxy feel, or space or galaxy feel. I'm just going to use this cake spatula I have and just kind of spread this out and get the sides of the painting. This portion doesn't have to necessarily be perfect because we are going to be pouring more paint on here. Just want to kind of have a light coat so the colors have something to move over. So I'm doing this. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, this is going to be video number 7. And in my other videos, I have done a couple of Dutch pours and some swipe paintings. Unfortunately, if you live in the US, you won't be able to see the painting that I have labeled as number 4 because of a song that was playing in the background for copyright infringement. So now moving forward, I just decided I'm just not gonna play any music. Better safe than sorry. And I'm gonna go ahead. Oops, what did I do with my cup? I'm just gonna kind of dip this spatula in the paint and go along these sides. In my first pouring painting, which is it's number 2, I go over with you in great detail how I mix all of my paints and how I set up my workspace from start to finish. So if you're interested in seeing that, you can find it on my channel. I started this channel because I'm just starting my own small business where I sell my paintings and some other crafts such as jewelry that I'm making. And so I wanted to be able to share my journey, and this is a good platform to do that. I also have a page on Facebook if you want to follow. It's called Soulshine Designs, and Soulshine is hyphenated. And then I also have a TikTok, which is Soulshine Designs, all one word, no hyphen. And all of my paintings that I do, I'm going to be putting up for sale. Eventually I plan on getting a website up and running. And I've been posting all my work on Facebook, and I'm gradually getting some more followers, so that's exciting. And I have a few commissions, so very, very exciting. Okay, so now we have a base layer of black down. I just want to make sure you have a full view here. And I do apologize, I am an amateur at this recording business. So I have the color shift paints that I'm going to be using in a particular order. The first thing I want to do though is I'm going to take this Thalio blue and diagonally across the canvas, I'm just going to do a light line. Going from one side to the next. And then I am going to take another line of this, the Ruby Red by DecoArt. Okay. Just gonna put those lines through there. I'm gonna start working in one cup and kind of go back and forth. So I'm using this green Flash first. Put a couple teaspoons in there. And then I'm going to do the aqua. The blue Flash. And this color shifting is really cool. I'm doing in this order because, like with, for example, this blue Flash, when it's dried, it does a color shift kind of like from blue to purple. And then the purple also kind of does the same thing. And do a little bit more purple. And now I'm going to use some of this white with the holographic. I'm going to do a swirl in here. I'm going to do a swirl of this lavender and the metallic purple. You see how some of the colors are already coming up out of the bottom of the cup. And now I'm just going to use this sequins black, and I'm going to put a layer right on top of these colors. And now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just putting in 2 teaspoons of each color in the same order. I like, when I use larger cups like this, I really prefer using plastic spoons for mixing and putting it on my canvas. For smaller cups, I'll use craft sticks, but I find these work a lot better with the larger cups. And then these plastic spoons I just wash and use over again. Okay, so I'm doing some of this white. Lavender, metallic purple, and the black on top. Oh. That felt like it had a little lump in there. That black. Lift this cup a little bit and get some paint going out this other side. I'm going to use my blue torch and just go right around the color part of this paint and get some of the air bubbles out of here. Okay, I am going to put some of this Thalio blue, just a swirl of it in this cup, and come over here in this cup. And then some of this ruby red. Oop, that really pushed that one out. And once the cup gets to a certain fullness or weight, that's how you get that effect of the paint kind of moving out on its own. Now I'm gonna put some more colors into the open cups. But this time, I'm going to go backwards in the order, and I'm not going to put the lavender or metallic purple. I'm just going to start with the purple flash. And then the blue flash. The aqua flash. And this green flash really is very dominant. I'm just going to put one, swirl around 1 teaspoon there in the center. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same over here. So I'm going to do the purple flash, 2 teaspoons. The blue. Aqua Flash, and just 1 teaspoon of this green. I'm going to put some of this white in here. And some more of this black. I did 2 teaspoons in each cup of the black. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and lift up on these cups. I'm going to go over them with a torch, and then I'm going to start kind of tilting and playing with the, I apologize for that glare on the, I'm in my kitchen today again. There we go. Start by tilting it slowly over to this corner. I'm going to come down, I'm going to have the paint kind of gradually come off this side and down to this corner. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see this corner here. We don't really have much flow on this one little spot. I'm just going to put a little bit of black paint here to help this flow over the side. Okay. And now I'm going to kind of tilt it so it's kind of going back center. Okay. I'm thinking maybe to get a kind of a galaxy feel, maybe I put too much color, not enough black. Okay, I am going, oh, I see that. Remember how I said there was a glob of black paint that came out? There it is. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tilt it down to this corner. I think these colors, this is looking really pretty. That's one thing that's so cool about fluid art or paint pouring. Let me turn this so you can see. Is that even when you have an idea in your mind of what you want to accomplish. Okay, there, now you can see this corner. It doesn't always pan out the way you have in your mind, but it is just so fun to play with. Okay, we got off that corner, and I'm going to tilt it so it's coming back into the center. I really like how these colors are working together. I'm going to put some just put a little bit more black paint around here. Alright, and now I'm going to go ahead and go to this other side that we haven't got yet. I'm tilting over I can't really see the canvas from the angle I have it, but I can use the camera itself facing, so kind of like a mirror, which is helpful. Just want to get the last of this bit here off the side. There we go. Okay. Move you back into frame. Okay, and then whenever you're doing a pour painting, you want to make sure either you're using your fingers or a craft stick or some object to go around the sides. Get rid of all this excess paint, so that way it's not pulling any of your design off. I'm going to tilt this a little bit more, coming back this way just for a moment, and then I'm going to move it so you can see better. Okay. Because I kind of really like what this section that's coming through here, I'm just tilting, trying to expand it a little bit more. Just coming around and making sure I have all of these corners are all covered in the paint. On sorry, I had a little bit too much paint on my hands for wiping on my washcloth. On some of the groups I'm on in Facebook, a lot of times I've seen people make comments, and on TikTok videos, a lot of people will make comments about there's so much wasted paint. See, if you look at the plastic there, you can see all of the paint that I poured off of the canvas. But what's nice is when you have a sheet of plastic down, or parchment paper, actually, I save this paint. I can do some designs in it, or spread it out and work it on the plastic, and I let it dry, and I other crafts. A lot of people call them acrylic skins. So you let the paint dry, and then what you do is you use it. You can cut it out and use it in paintings, or you can use it to create jewelry. Let's see if we can get any more movement going that way. Not really. I think I got about as much movement for this size canvas as I'm gonna get out of the paint I put on it. So, but you know, I think this is really cool looking. I'm just gonna keep going around the sides and make sure it's not pulling any paint off where I don't want it to. And then just double checking to make sure all of the sides of the canvas are covered, but they're pretty covered with this. We had enough paint for the canvas size to cover everything. So all right, I'm gonna go over this with the torch one last time, and then we'll do a up close look. Let me rinse my hands again. Okay, I'm gonna go over this with the torch. I think this next time I do an open cut pour, I think maybe to get the galaxy look that I'm going for, I need to use a fewer number of colors and maybe more black, so I get that black space. I have tons of paint left over. Of course, that is not going to go to waste. I'll use it in other paintings. I'm going to go ahead and go over this with the torch real quick. Just looking to see if I can visibly see any air bubbles that may have been missed. This is going to make just a beautiful pop of color and just beautiful statement hanging on someone's wall. I really like it. Alright, moving down. And I don't know how well you're getting this. Okay. Just has so much color and movement, and I just think it's really fun piece. So, let's see if I can reach up high, tall enough to get the whole thing in frame. There we go, beautiful. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today in another pour painting video. I will list all of the materials I used in the description, and if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments, and I look forward to painting with you again soon. Have a nice